Hello, my name is Georgianne Ford with the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation. And today we have one of our returning mediators, Mike Routh, coming back to us this month. Thanks, Mike, for returning to us.
Hi, Georgianne. Good to see you today.
Yeah, same here. And I hear your topic today is having to do with, is a cheating spouse disbarred from alimony and different things that come up about that. Is that right?
Right. This topic came up recently. I had a consultation with a couple where they were there, looking into mediation for their divorce, and probably the main reason that they were getting divorced was because of some marital misconduct, some infidelity in their marriage. And one of the questions that they asked was about alimony, and they both made the comment that the spouse responsible for the infidelity would not be entitled to. Shouldn't use the word entitled, would not be allowed to have any alimony. That's what they've been told. And here in Pennsylvania, in a no-fault divorce, that's not necessarily the case. And so it was kind of a surprise to both of them. But that is the subject of our discussion today.
And a no-fault divorce, is that really that's the most common type of divorce? Is that right, Mike?
Right, and especially in mediation. So I'll just say, the couple that I met with, despite what had gone on, were looking to do this in an amicable manner. They weren't looking to get involved in a litigation setting. They were looking to try to come up with a fair agreement, and that's why they were talking to me about mediation. So in mediation, we do file divorce under the no-fault statute. We're not looking to assign fault to either party. And in Pennsylvania, the statute definitely outlines or basically lays out how you go about doing that. So three big parts that we've talked about in our discussions before that are included in the divorce code are child custody and support, the equitable distribution, the distribution of your assets and debts, and then the third being that alimony and spousal support. So the statute here in Pennsylvania basically has 17 different factors that determine whether alimony is necessary or not, that the court can use in deciding whether to include it in a divorce. So one of the factors in those 17 is marital misconduct, but it is 1 out of 17. So, the courts say that that's the end all be all to deciding whether they should include alimony or not. It's definitely not. It can be considered, but at the end of the day, the court will look at other big ticket items like income and basically, that ability to support yourself as you're able to move forward after the divorce.
So it doesn't carry a lot of weight when it comes up to all the 17 things.
Right. Like I said, it can be considered. Definitely the court will review it, but at the end of the day, if one spouse is in a no-fault divorce is still in a position where they can't support themselves moving forward, then the court will consider alimony, even if they were the cheating spouse.
Mm-hmm. I bet you a lot of people don't know that.
Right. I mean, what you run into a lot of the time, Georgianne, and I'm sure you can understand is, if that happens, of course, we want to lash out at the person. Right. That did that. And so even in a mediation setting, the parties will sometimes come into the room still trying to look to get back at that party. And really, in mediation, it's my job to kind of take a step back from that and say, hey, we got to try to be as fair as possible with this. Even when we look at the distribution of the marital assets and debts, we can't take into consideration any marital misconduct. We need to do this in a fair manner based on where you guys sit financially, despite those, the emotions that go along with that infidelity.
And when in your experience, Mike, do those people are usually able to follow that process of mediation from there?
Well, so here's the thing too, Georgianne. In mediation, I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, so. As much as I suggest that we need to be fair, it's really up to the parties to decide. So I do give them, the speech that I've given you today and give them that background about how this works legally. But I do find that a lot of the time, the party that was cheated on won't proceed with alimony. And they basically, hold that up as a way to say, hey, if you're going to ask for alimony, then we're probably not going to be able to solve this through mediation. We're probably going to have to get outside attorneys involved. And that's just, that's just part of the whole big picture of divorce. There are a lot of attorneys that do handle the litigation side of this. So sometimes it is necessary. Mm-hmm. However, we were touching on this in our conversation a little bit before this. It is important to try to solve this in an amicable manner, especially if there's children involved, because you definitely don't want one of the spouses in a position where they're unable to support themselves. That's going to affect the children too. So that's why we always recommend to try to work it out in mediation.
Well, your expertise always brings in the fact that if we're in the mediation process, we really want to have a smooth path, as you say, through that process and make it fair and equitable at the end.
Right. That's definitely our goal. And we do our best to accomplish that. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way in these situations. But I do always give credit to to my clients that when infidelity is involved and they're still able to work this out through mediation, they deserve a pat on the back, especially when there's children involved, to be able to be adults about it and kind of put those emotions to the side.
Mike, thanks so much for coming in and talking to us about this sensitive topic. I think that we've learned that it can go either way, but certainly best for the children involved if you can get through mediation.
Thanks, Georgianne.
Yeah. Any of you have questions for Mike about this topic or any topic, or would like to talk to us at the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation, 1-800-310-9085. Give us a call.